These little grenades are the best. More specifically, Springer grenades. Now, if I'm just referring to Springer grenades here in Canada, we pretty much only have access to the Amazon special $20 Nerf grenades, or if you're familiar, Lancer Tactical's GBR grenade. I'm not going to talk about those specifically since they're always out of stock here in Canada, or they're pretty much only available in the States. I don't know why. Now, I know what some of you are already saying. P-Dog, those grenades suck. They're cheap, have shitty spread, and look like they belong in little Timmy's chest full of Nerf blasters. So, hear me out. And if I still can't convince you these grenades are worth it, at least you can understand why I exclusively use these grenades over any others.
Oh! Hitler, Hitler, Hitler! On you.
Thanks for the grenade!
Another one, I'm sorry.
First off, yes, let's talk about cost. These bright orange eyesores are worth like 25 bucks, and you know what? Grenades are still kind of a niche thing to use in Airsoft, most likely a one-time use between games, and you're not just gonna throw them around willy-nilly in an open field. Personally, I willingly use my grenade about 1 to 3 times max in a full day of Airsoft. I lob it over walls, through windows, up onto a balcony above, rare occasions. So really, I spend most of my time shooting. Which honestly might be a good thing, because when I try and lob these things over walls, it's kind of like a 50-50 success rate for me. So why in the world would I spend $100 Canadian on an ASG Storm? Or the like? Why such an expensive piece of kit for such a limited amount of use? $100 might not seem like much to some, but that's potentially the third of a price for a primary weapon, and that's not even including the cost of gas you need to fill the grenade. Not breaking the bank is pretty important for me. For 25 bucks, I get everything I need. Speaking of gas, I kinda hate it when it leaks. Don't you? Every now and then, I'll see somebody gassing up their grenade at the field, maybe in between a round of CQB. And you know what? It's leaking. Or it never held its gas in the first place and ends up being a dud. I'm not saying this is common, but if you're not on top of it, which, let's be honest, most people aren't, your gas-powered grenade might need to be taken apart and have its O-rings greased up at the worst possible time. It's just the nature of things. Unlike this Springer grenade, you close up the wings, load in the BBs, and it's ready. I don't have to rely on some extra step or factor to ensure this grenade goes off. I just have to take the pin out, or in my preferred case, take the elastic off the body, and throw. I personally don't trust gas-powered things in Airsoft. It's actually the #1 reason I immediately switched over my SMC9 to HPA day one. And it's also partly the reason why I use a CO2-powered pistol. Depending on weather, green gas likes to leak, or it just struggles to hold pressure in all temperatures. Internal components that hold gas change with weather, and I just don't care to deep dive into the maintenance or preservation for my gas. Now, let's talk about the quote-unquote weak BB spread of Springer grenades. So this is probably the biggest argument gas grenade users can use against the cheap Springer. Barring the sometimes inconsistent nature of gas, yes, a gas grenade will give you a more wide, aggressive BB spread. So how do I compromise with a cheap little Springer grenade then? Well, I use lighter BBs. In fact, the cheapest, lightest BBs I can find. 10,000 0.12 gram BBs for 20 bucks online? Yep, that'll do. Lighter BBs will fly further. Grenades aren't really meant to be accurate, so who cares where or how they fly? All I care about is that those spring-powered grenade flaps fling them high and in the hundreds. Now, this still isn't going to be as consistently widespread as a gas-powered grenade. However, I'm not trying to ambitiously clear out entire rooms with this thing. Those opportunities are just too far and few in between anyway, at least for me. And so it really depends on how you value the utility of your grenade. In fact, for me, think of these little $25 springers as the perfect impact grenade. 3 guys hiding in a tight corner, or a group of enemies holding out in a 20-foot structure. This grenade will cause the appropriate amount of damage. Combined with lighter BBs and a little bit of accuracy to my throw, the Springer grenade is more than enough to clear out a regular-sized zone your enemy is using to hold out in.
There it is. Good shit, bro. Good shit.
On top of that, some airsoft fields don't care if a BB from a grenade needs to hit you. If it goes off within a certain distance from you, you're considered dead. That only makes the cheap Springer grenade even more enticing. Now, yes, because they have to house the springs and wings, Springer nades are generally larger in size, or at least more cylindrical, maybe more awkward. So they aren't the most ergonomic, you could say. And yes, if realism is your thing, gas-powered grenades are definitely more realistically shaped or colored, etc. That being said, I actually kind of prefer how ugly this grenade is. It's orange, so it's very easy to find after it's been thrown. Also, because it's orange or brightly colored, it has a specific danger aspect attached to it. That sort of high-vis caution feeling associated with a color like orange. And yes, gas-powered grenades also come in vibrant colors, so realism can be hard to apply for both sides of this argument. Personally, green or black colored grenades are just a no-go for me regardless. Way too easy to lose. One thing gas grenades do have going for them is they give off an actual bang sound, whether that be the gas expelling out of the grenade and spinning around. Yes, they're louder. Speaking of losing your grenade, let's talk about how sad you're gonna feel when you can't find your $100 fancier, more compactly sized gas-powered grenade out on the field. There's always that small chance. Or maybe somebody decided to steal your $100 grenade. It's not common, but I just personally get nervous throwing around an expensive piece of boom around the field. $25 Springer nade, anyone can afford them. They're a dime a dozen. Just get your own. So, not to try and convince you, but if you're on the fence about getting your first airsoft grenade and adding it to your loadout, seriously just consider a cheap Springer. As long as you don't throw it against concrete, it's going to last you more than long enough to justify the purchase. And it's extremely low maintenance in almost all regards. That being said, if you specifically use gas-powered grenades, I'm not here to bug you for that. That's not the purpose of this video. You got the good stuff, and I'm sure you take pride in your equipment. And look, when a properly working gas grenade goes off in a room, I shit my pants.
Yeah, I'm gonna call that. Here, buddy. Hit player. Thanks, man.
Definitely gonna just call myself hit when that goes off. I think at the end of the day, I like to see more grenades in airsoft in general, and I just like how easily accessible these cheap little Springer nades are for everybody. Grenades are great, and their liberal use out on the field makes defensive objectives a little more nail-biting. If I could make a quick observation here at my field, I've somehow seen a large increase in the amount of grenade use, just randomly, and I kind of don't hate that. So, I'll wrap up this video with a question. Which type of grenade do you use at Airsoft? Springer or gas-powered. Alright guys, see you next time. Don't forget to pull your pin.